see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us names. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Brian, and today is Thursday, September 12th, 2024, and this is episode 772 of the Lots Project podcast, and it's titled Boom. I'll be chatting about a few things that go boom, an email that led to an idea, and a little bit more. First, let's hang out and check out who's hanging out in the live chat. Grab a cup of coffee and hang out for a while. Sorry guys, it's been a little confusing and chaotic this morning. Last night when I went to set up the show, Word wouldn't open on my computer. My computer had done an automatic restart, had come back all up. I opened my browser tabs again, no problem, and I went to open my show note template and nothing. I clicked Word to open, nothing. I clicked, yeah, that's what's on the computer. Food Forest Farm says Word. Yeah, that's what's on the computer. That's what it came with. I'm still sorting all that shit out. So I tried to open the document. It didn't work. Good morning, Jim, over on Nostr. Thanks for popping in over there. I tried to open the document. I tried to open a different document. I tried to open a new, like just using the program, both in the start menu, and it would spin and then nothing. I'm like, I can't fucking deal with this tonight. So I dicked around. I used a notepad and did the show notes for the day. But then this morning I started looking into it a little bit, and that's why I was a little behind this morning. So still trying to catch up with thinking about what's going on here, but I got it figured out, and we'll roll on. So let's head over and see who's in the chat. Pip, good morning. How we doing? Said he's watching the SpaceX Eva and heard a good question. And I would love it if everybody answered this that's listening currently and threw their answer in the comments and like put a couple stars or make it all caps or something so I can find them, because comments are starting to roll in quite a bit. What would your space float out song be? And I imagine that's like during a spacewalk you become disconnected or explosion, or maybe even in a rocket that's gone awry and you're just going into Neverland, is what I'm assuming is what he's talking about. Space float out song. I got an idea. I had an instant thought when I read it, so I'll save that for when some other folks start weighing in. Good morning, Digger. How we doing? And Pip also said the first SpaceX Eva looks cool. Canadian Farmstead, thanks for popping in. Hunter, good morning over on Twitch. Appreciate you. Food Forest Farms, good morning. K-Bonk, good morning. Off-Grid Ping, good morning. How you doing? And Backwoods Butcher says, sorry I'm late, guys. I was making cattail stew. Ooh, you getting the stew started early. Is it a lunch stew or is it a long, like a 14-hour cooker? Is Cat relatively, good morning, Blakesley Acres, swinging in on the vertical feed. Appreciate that. Is Cat a tougher meat? Is it a fishy fish? I prefer a fishy fish. Is Cat a fishy meat? Is it a catty meat? Pip says, I knew this would be a good question. Good job, fucking Pip. I appreciate it. Pip says his space song would be something classical opera. Backwoods Butcher says Arms Wide Open by Creed. You would. you would. On fucking repeat. On repeat. Canadian Farmstead comes in with a quality answer. The End by The Doors. This is the end. I used to listen to a radio show that played that right at the end of the show, and that brought back a couple of memories real quick. Food Forest Farm says the 38-minute version of Tweezer. I could have before I even asked the question, before I even started to get answers, I could have guessed that old Brian over at Food Forest Farms was going to get. There's no way he was going to say anything other than a fish song. Backwoods Butcher says, "Ooh, that meat's going to fall off the bone." I can't do that. I can't do that accent. But my song that I think would be pretty solid. Maybe "Shine On Crazy Diamond" Part 2 by Pink Floyd. That was a song. So when I was DJing weddings for a stint there at some point, I got to where I could set up the audio equipment pretty quick, like not the whole setup, but enough to where I could listen to music while I set up the rest of the stuff. And I would roll in super early because I was paranoid of being late. And I didn't want to ruin anybody's wedding by the DJ being late. And so I had this mix. It was like an hour and a half mix of songs. And that was the first song on it. So the people, the catering companies and things, the folks that were working would, it's really soft and it comes in really low, and I'd have it turned down, and then it just kind of keeps rolling in, and they keep looking over like, is there music playing? Canadian Farm says, I thought he meant the wetlands plant cattails that are edible. Those are swamp corn dogs. Jamie says MySpace song doesn't exist. We're gonna have a long conversation some night over a campfire, Jamie, for sure. I gotta pick your brain. It'll be fun. He says maybe Californication. Jim, good morning. Rewilder Life, good morning. Thanks for popping in. Question we're talking about is, what's your space float out song? If you have a song that you would want to be playing as you drift off into space because of an accident or on purpose, if you're up there, maybe a spacewalk and you get disconnected and you just float out into Neverland, or in a rocket ship, or however, you're just going off into the oblivion until you run into something. And coincidentally, we're going to be talking about running into something, but it coming from the other direction is on the list today. Backwoods Butcher says possibly Rockstar by Smash Mouth. Really? Really? Okay. I just lost a little respect for you. That's okay. That's all right. You'll have to gain it back. You'll have to gain back my respect or lose more of it at SRF. Speaking of which, SRF coming up here in a couple of weeks. If you Jim says Bowie's Space Oddity. If you're heading out to Camden, definitely hook up with me. We're going to be having a content creator tent. We're going to have a Lots Project workshop, Toolman Tim workshop, combined community tent. There's going to be a ton of people out there from both of our communities and so many more people. It's going to be a great event. If you're within a day drive of Camden, Tennessee, I think it's worth the trip at this point. I think you could plan it. You could make it happen. Longer trips, I don't know. You still got 3 weeks. It's October 5th and 6th is the event. Then we're having work days and get-togethers and classes, barbecues, all sorts of events surrounding SRF community prior to the event. So if you can come into town a little longer, stay a little longer, that would be fine too. Let me grab the link for SRF tickets, because if you can't make it in to Camden, they do also offer a digital pass. A digital pass where you can watch presenters. You can watch the presentations. You can also access it after the fact. I believe there are also some other perks that come with the digital pass. I think you've grabbed the digital pass before, Pip and Jamie. What do you guys think of it? Drop it in the comments. I got the link going into the comments on both the vertical and the main feed. If you're thinking about picking up tickets, click that link and head on over and check it out. Jamie says, "What are the dates for the work days?" The actual work days will be. Let me pull up calendar real quick. The actual work days will be Wednesday, October 2nd, Thursday, October 3rd, and then we will be having a community barbecue, possibly some more work going on, shenanigans, who knows, on that Friday, October 4th. There are a lot of events and workshops going on at SOE that relate to SRF going on Friday. So yeah. Jim, I think Jim said Bowie's Space Oddity as his float out song. Can't remember if I grabbed that one or not. Backwards Butcher says, "Wait, you had respect for me?" A budding respect. I had a budding respect. Rewilder Life wants to list some Bowie also. Backwards Butcher says, "I hope our booths are right across from each other." I figured you were hoping your booth was right behind mine so you could stare at my ass the whole time. Rewilder Life says, I'm a groomsman in a wedding. Can't go. You're a groomsman in a wedding and you can't go to the wedding, or you're a groomsman in a wedding and you can't go to SRF? Backwoods Butcher says, "Screw Brian, use my link. I'm driving across country." It is what it is, man. It is what it is. My show, my link. Pip says, "I had DigiPass for this past April. Was good stuff and could ask questions to the presenters." Okay, yeah. So there's a live chat. There's all sorts of. There's it's the next best thing to being there. Mike's Homestead weighs in with a float out song, "A Spirit in the Sky." Jamie weighs in on the digital pass, said it was nice, especially when they send you all the other videos not from the main stage. That was something. So they are limited in their capacity to stream the live presentations. If you've never been to SRF, there are at least 2 stages. I have a feeling that there's going to be more this year with some demonstrations going on. Definitely the 2 stages that they've had before. So airing all that live is tough. But after the fact, you get access to the ones you couldn't see or the ones they didn't put out live. So that's pretty cool. Backwards Butcher says, "I've got legs. I can move behind you." Digger says, "Comfortably numb." I like it. I think I would probably go with the Shine On Crazy Diamond just for the relaxation factor and not to freak the fuck out. But depending on the mood, and if I could select, like if I had my whole music catalog available to me, I mean, in an instant like that, NWO by Obituary, if anybody's a fan of the old 80s and 90s death metal band Obituary, that'd be a solid choice. That'd be a solid choice to head on out, I'm guessing. I don't know. Anyway, what's in the cup today? We got some Food Forest Farms GSD blend. GSD blend knocked it out of the park yesterday. I got a ton done. I got so much done that at dinner time, Corey and I were sitting around and she was making some dinner and I was perusing what we were going to watch while we ate our dinner. And I decided to take the rest of the night off, and which spins into the show today. We picked to watch a movie, and we picked to watch a 3-hour movie. And I said, fuck it. I'm done for the day. I accomplished more than I set out to. I did more than I expected. I'm ahead, and I'm gonna take it easy. I've driven pretty hard for a while, and I'm gonna talk about that today too. But the GSD blend just knocked it out of the park yesterday morning, got me ready to go, got me out the door, got me motivated without the jitters. It's got a higher caffeine count because it's a couple of higher caffeine, naturally higher caffeine beans, and then they're light roasted and barely over light roasted, which takes out less caffeine when you roast the beans. Did you know that light roast has more caffeine than dark roast? Yeah, I do. Not only because of my coffee school education, but the owner of Food Forest Farms, Brian, has shared that with me also. He also shares all sorts of crazy coffee facts and other things. And I am happy to be a member of the C4 Club. If you don't want to just buy coffee when you go in and order it individually, you can get it coming to you every month. In the middle of the month, you can get a package. All you got to do is commit to buy 2 pounds a month, $40 a month, 2 pounds of fantastic coffee shipped to your door, and a bunch of other perks. You can join the C4 Club. That's the C4 Club. You can join that at foodforestfarms.com. Check it out, foodforestfarms.com. Or if you want to give it a try before you commit to a club like that, you can use LOTS10. LOTS10 will get you 10% off one-time purchase. One time. It's good for one use. LOTS10. Get 10% off. Always free shipping. foodforestfarms.com. Backwoods Butcher says our Airbnb is booked and the shirts are ordered. I saw your shirts yesterday, man. They're quality. How would a guy get his hands on one of those? Make sure that the stock is enough. If somebody was wanting a Backwoods Butcher 603, the body, I believe it said the body shop. Or is this a surprise unveiling, Kyle? I don't want to ruin any of your secrets. The body shop, yeah. 603 with a fantastic logo. Fantastic logo. If somebody wanted to secure one of these, what do? Send you a message? Telegram? Email? Smoke signal? Are they only available in person? I mean, we could probably sell you out before you get here. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, talk about what I decided to watch last night with Corey. Oppenheimer. Hadn't seen it. If you watch the show, you know I'm not a huge run out to the theater guy or need to see it when it comes out. I heard all the buzz about it. I know the story of the man. If you know anything about history, you kind of know who he was anyway. Canadian Farmstead. What? Where did that come from? Canadian Farmstead over in the vertical feed says Canadian Farmstead in the vertical feed says the U.S. foreign policy is unreproachable. They never send troops to fight for corporate interests. Where did that come from? Am I missing comments over in the vertical feed somehow in my feed? Because that's just a really random. Did you not take your meds this morning, dude? Like, what? He pops over into the main feed, says, I thought that's the sentiment you had to have in the vertical feed. I guess in the dumpster fire of the vertical feed, you gotta have some sort of fucked up view. Backwoods Butcher says at this point, come to SRF. What a boner. And Jim wants to know if you're going to accept Bitcoin for t-shirts. Kyle, Kyle doesn't know anything about the magic internet money, Jim, and he claims he's too dumb. He claims he's too dumb to figure it out. I've showed him. I've been more than willing to provide all the free consultation services to Mr. Perot to get him familiar and comfortable with using Bitcoin. And he hates money. He hates money. Backwoods Butcher told us Canadian Farmstead, take a shot of maple syrup and calm down. Rewild their life is going to head over to the vertical feed and start sharing cat recipes. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Jim, no, they are not available on his website. Do you have any idea who his webmaster is? Poor Kyle. Poor Kyle. All he wants to do is cut up meat, and everybody has a problem with him. Everybody has a problem. You're not doing enough, Kyle. Per our conversation the other night, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. Mike's Homestead says Michael Sparks will help you with Bitcoin at SRF. Thanks, Mike. Thanks. Oh, man. Anyway, we I was looking through Amazon new releases or whatever on the video side, and was adding some stuff. No. Now we got an international war in the vertical feed. Backwoods Butcher replies, Canada is the autistic younger brother of the U.S. that throws temper tantrums in blackface. Jesus. Dude, you are literally... How many miles are you from Canada, Butcher? I mean, you got the Frenchy name anyway. But I was scrolling through, added a bunch of older stuff to the list, and we put them on our watch list. And that way, does anybody else struggle when they're like, hey, let's watch the show? And you're like, well, what do we want to watch? And you spend more time than you actually watch. You actually watch a movie, but you spent like longer looking for it. So we try to dump things on our watch list so we can just like grab and go stuff that we know we're both willing to watch. And I saw Oppenheimer, and I'm like, I heard a lot of good things about it. It interests me. The story interests me. And I said, hey, Corey, what do you think? You want to watch Oppenheimer tonight? And she's like, I don't know. I mean, sure. I was like, it won 7 Grammy Awards. I won 7 Grammy Awards. And it's supposed to be really good. And I'm interested in the story of the dude because people like that interest me. And she's like, yeah, sure. I said, well, it's 3 hours. So it's like 5:15 now. So it'll be past your bedtime when it's over. Is that okay? And she's like, yeah, that'll be all right. That'll be all right. So we watched it. Have you guys seen it? I thought it was a fantastic movie. I knew a lot of that story just through reading, through exploring. Canadian Farmstead says Kyle is Southern Canadian. Canadian Farmstead's Backwoods says he's far enough south that he's not in Canada. Sure. If you haven't seen it, I would say watch it. If you have the time, it was good. It was good. It was a good story. It really told the story of a troubled man, down the lines of like the other. So there's something about people that are brilliant, I mean, I don't know if the guy was technically a genius, but you know, like the John Nashes of the world, the Einsteins, the Picassos, the people that are on the edge of they're on the edge of what's new. They're seeing things that people aren't, that normal people aren't. There was descriptions of how he kind of when he was in school, he visualized things that were just concepts. Sorry, names are escaping me. Was it Benjamin Franklin that visualized all of his inventions before he put them together? Tesla was the same way. They think in a different way. They see things different. A lot of people say that they're crazy. There's that fine line between insanity and genius. But with that fine line and straddling it comes with a lot of issues. It comes with a lot of personal issues. It comes with a lot of relationship issues. It comes with a lot of issues dealing with yourself. And I think this movie really dives into that. And it was interesting. It was definitely interesting. Pip says Michelangelo with the David statue. Yeah, it wasn't that he just looked at the block of marble and he's like, I see a sculpture in there. We'll know when it's done. Rewilder Life says they're often troubled souls. My dad was highly intelligent and had multiple patents. You didn't want to live with him. I don't think they can relate with other people. I think they see the world. They're brilliant in one aspect. Oppenheimer was brilliant in quantum physics, moving away from Einstein's physics. They're brilliant in one aspect. They can't translate. They can't think about the other factions of life in a normal way. Canadian Farmstead said that explains why I can't get along with anyone. Yeah, I mean, it does, because it works both ways, both the highly intelligent and the low IQ also. So it fits the bill for sure. It fits the bill. Jim says, is Terrence Howard a genius or crazy? Really? The problem is you don't know until after the fact. A lot of the times you don't know until after the fact. It's like the conspiracy theorist that ends up being right. There's a lot of them now. A lot of people were labeled crazy through the last 4 years that simply aren't geniuses. But that's the same. I think that's the same line of thinking. After the fact, people are like, oh. When Oppenheimer decided to bring quantum physics to the United States, no one believed in that shit here. And there was a line from the movie, and I don't want to spoil it. I think it's been around long enough that I can talk about specifics in the movie. There was a line that was in there that kind of stuck out to me. He was in Europe studying quantum physics, where quantum physics was being studied. And he went there specifically because he couldn't study it in the United States. Nobody was teaching it. No one was talking about it. And when he was meeting all these physicists like Heisenberg and Bauer and all these physicists in Europe, he was talking to one of them, and he's like, he says, "You're homesick, aren't you?" And he says, "Yeah, I am. I really miss my ranch in New Mexico, and this, that, and the other thing." And the guy says, "Well, you can't go back can't go back to the United States because no one there is studying this. And he goes, that's exactly why I have to go back. He knew quantum physics was the future. It was the next horizon. It was where the discoveries were going to be made, and that it needed to be studied by even the lesser brilliant minds in the United States, because all the top end physicists had moved to Europe. Pip says, so this means I have an excuse to be an asshole to coworkers. I'm a genius you don't understand. I mean, give it a rip. You could probably go to HR with that and say you have a disability. Wilder Life says, Jim, not sure. I think he's out there on some stuff. He is, but so was Oppenheimer, and so was Heisenberg, and so were all these quantum physicists that were breaking new territory. They were a little bitty club of guys that understood, because no one understood what they were talking about. They couldn't even start to comprehend or wrap their hands or their heads around it. Even if they had a super grasp of physics as it was known, they couldn't make that leap. There were a few. And until the few understand it enough to start teaching it, they are crazy. Or they are out there with some stuff. And then as people can start to grasp the things that they understand and they can conceptualize and they can explain it, they become a little less and less crazy. Oh, that does make sense now that we've figured out how to explain it and teach it. But always on the cutting edge. Jim says Einstein was a heretic until he wasn't. Isn't that the case with all of them? Anyone that's making new discoveries, whether it be in physics or anywhere, is the outsider. He's bucking the status quo. He's not trusting the science, guys. You have to trust the science. And they're saying, I am. I am. You don't understand. Canadian Farmstead says, I still don't believe in quantum physics. Read a fucking book, dude. Backwards Butcher says, quantum physics, I'm still struggling with addition. Rewilder Life says, fractions. Here's the thing. And it was weird because I was reading kind of the reviews of Oppenheimer this morning, like the summaries, the Ebert, was it Siskel and Ebert, Roger Ebert, his review and summary of the movie. And they're like, he was a brilliant mathematician. No, he sucked at fucking math. That was one of the main points. And some of the best jokes, the best humor in that movie revolved around the fact that Oppenheimer was shitty at math. He was a theoretical physicist that could conceptualize things, but couldn't write out he wasn't good at writing out the math problems. He was not the math genius, and relied on other people to do the math for him, because he could conceptualize the theory and just he didn't need it, preferred someone else to do the math. Wilder Life says, government has figured out ways to control and use it first, then it's cool. Yeah. Backwards Butcher says, nobody understands my genius, but soon they will. And they'll all see. Wilder Life says, his suck at math is probably college level still. Probably. Probably when you're one of the leading physicists in the world, I guess when you say you're shitty at math, it's probably pretty high level math. Backwards Butcher is constantly taking his boots off to tally his bills for his customers. So he says he sucks at elementary school math. So, spoiler alert, Oppenheimer at Los Alamos ends up figuring out, leading. He wasn't the only one there. Obviously, there were like 400 people at the facility, Los Alamos, where they developed the nuclear bomb that they dropped on Japan twice. It was an interesting moral struggle. It was interesting to try to figure out where his head was with the morality of what he was doing. He certainly knew the destruction that could come from any discovery. He also understood the dangers of not pursuing it because they knew that other nefarious countries were developing this technology. He was also an egomaniac, I think, a megalomaniac. I think he was in it for him, a lot of it, whatever the motivations. And then at some point, after they killed 220,000 people with his invention, he had a little coming to Jesus moment, so to say. He had a little bit of whoopsie, maybe we shouldn't have done this, and really pushed hard to let's say, hey, we have this technology, and so do you, speaking to other countries, and say, and it's really what it turned out. Like, in the end, the mutually assured destruction, the theory and the concept that we worked out through the Cold War of, we got enough bombs to fucking just blow the earth up, and you got enough bombs to just blow the earth up. So let's not blow the fucking earth up. Let's just know that we have to be cordial to each other to avoid us all dying. I think that was his theory at that point. That's what he was pushing for. And just like every government bullshit, they tried to railroad him. They tried to call him a commie. They tried to say he was a Russian spy and blah, 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 because he had differing opinions. He didn't toe the company line. It's interesting. Like, I'm going to digest this movie probably for a few days, and really probably change opinions of the guy back and forth. And who really knows? It was a movie. I wasn't there. I didn't meet him. He did bone a lot of chicks. He was a womanizer for sure. Good morning, John Palmer, and good day to you. Let's look at the comments here. Jim says Kyle's genius on TikTok is apparent. Definitely check out the Backwoods Butcher on TikTok if you don't. If you use TikTok and you're not following Kyle over there, look him up. Backwoods Butcher 603. The guy's pretty funny, I have to admit. As much as I hate it, as much as I hate to make his ego any bigger, his TikToks are pretty funny. And he's very good at walking the razor of what's acceptable. Canadian Farm says that Kyle's worried about getting his kids to grade 4 as he won't be able to help them with their homework anymore. 4? He's worried about them starting kindergarten, dude. And he says 4th grade. 1st grade is going to be hard enough. Yep. Hunter says nuclear war, a scenario, mildly terrifying book. Anything to deal with nuclear war is terrifying. Anything to do with the mass annihilation of 100,000 people which will be more, obviously. At that point, they were the only ones that were dropping it. They were the only destruction. At this point, it doesn't stop with one or two. It doesn't stop with one or two. Jim says now they'd find kitty porn on his computer. Probably. Yeah, I don't know if that would matter. Look at all the pedo cover-ups there are. The government isn't really about exposing pedophiles within their ranks. And I think they understand that if they try to expose, if they try to fake pedophilia, it's going to just expose some of their own. So they'd probably come up with something else. So that was interesting. I would suggest watching it for sure. It's worth the 3 hours. You can move on from that at different points. And research him a little more beyond that if you're interested. Sorry guys, I thought I was getting okay. I got so many screens open here from messing around with Word this morning. It's both my screens are like full with different tabs. So Wilder Life says, they'd probably feed the addiction and then threaten to expose him so they can keep him on the hook. I mean, they basically did. They didn't feed his addiction, but they tried to ruin his marriage, what marriage it was. But he was a womanizer, and they knew that, and they made his wife admit it, or they made him admit it in front of his wife or some bullshit, even though she already knew it. But in public record, that was kind of fucked up. Whatever. By the way, Dave Grohl's going to be a daddy by a mistress, Mr. Family Man. Food Forest Farm says they feed him secretaries. I don't know. I don't think so. He was pretty good at just boning whoever he wanted. They showed some of his his technique. He was a smooth guy for sure. When you can meet a woman and talk to her and on a base level explain quantum physics, and it ends up shortly after her naked on top of you, you know you got quantum physics down. And it might have been just for the movie, who the fuck knows, but it was pretty solid move. He basically explained how nothing is real, nothing is solid, that we're a bunch of electrical pulses that are close enough that it can trick our mind into believing that this is solid. And he like takes her hand and he's like, and that we can stop each other. And he like holds her hand, and Canadian Farmstead, you want to smash atoms. Oh, anyway, guys, another thing that goes boom is shotguns. Yesterday, one of the big things I got accomplished was Backwoods Butcher with a mind-blowing statement says, that is true, semen is liquid. All right, man. Thanks for the are you sure it's liquid, or is it more of a gelatinous goo? One of the things I got accomplished yesterday, I was excited to, is I got caught up on product videos from when I was sick. and they kept rolling in, and then I was catching up. I just got behind. Knocked out 5 or 6 videos yesterday. I got to edit them all up today, along with some that I already had. I already have film that just haven't had time to get edited. So that's today, tomorrow. It's basically computer weekend because of the massive rain amounts we're going to get from the hurricane, the hurricane remnants, which already are rolling in, guys. But yesterday, one of the things that I did a product evaluation, took a look at it. I haven't used it yet because I need to find somebody to test it out for me, because it's not anything that I would use myself at this point in my life. It's called the Kraken. It's in this little box here. Let me see if I can. The Kraken. You guys can see. Here, let me turn this light off. It'll be easier to read this box. The Kraken is the ultimate shotgun tool. And you say, what is it? For getting stuck shells out, for cleaning the barrel, for all of the above, for inserting and removing choke tubes? No. It's for shotgunning beers. And here are the instructions. This is a product made by Wild Man Drinking Company. Basically, this is the modern day knife. Kyle says, I wish I had that in my 20s. That's what I said in my review video. I said, I can't imagine having this in my drinking days. So this is the thing. This hooks onto the bottom of a can like this. You put it in, and then you pop it up, and it pierces the can, and then you have a little spout to shotgun. It has this rubber membrane that seals against the side of the can. You got your convenient keychain attachment, so you can have it with you in case you need to shotgun a beer at any moment. You can pull out the Kraken. No need to find a knife or any tool like that. Just pop the lid, and away you go. Backwoods Butcher says, I just used my tooth like a man. Maybe that's why I cracked my tooth, because I didn't have the Kraken. But I saw this thing. I was going through. Oh no, my balance. I got to zap up my balance here at the end of the show. I was going through product listings that were available. Jim says, release the Kraken. I was going through product listings, and I see the company name is the Wild Man Drinking Company. And I'm like, I got to click on that just to see what a company like that makes. And so I pull it up, and I see the ultimate shotgun tool, and I click on it. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I got to get one of these things. I got to get one of these because I want to carry it around, and I want to be walking at an event somewhere and see some people drinking beers, tailgating, something like that, concert or whatnot, anywhere they have cans of beer, maybe down at the river, whatever, and walked up and said, try this. I think there's a market for this thing in, say, like bachelor and bachelorette party gift bags. If they're going out on the town and they want to get one of these for each of their guests, wedding parties, whatever, graduation parties, gifts for your buddies, frat houses. Jim says, check the frat houses. I think these things are, they're a novelty, obviously, but as I look around, they're really pushing the drinking shit. Sean Mills was telling me about a version of this. I also saw one that actually looks like a shotgun, that you open the barrel. It's like a break barrel, break breech. You put the can in like the shell. You close it. You pump the shotgun, which punctures it, and then you put it up, and the spout's by it, and you pull the trigger, and you drink the beer out of the shotgun. I was like, I grew up in the wrong time. No, I grew up in the perfect time. I'd be dead. Funnels were good enough for us. The first time I saw a double funnel was Backwoods Butcher said I had all the novelty funnels. The first time I saw a double funnel, a racing funnel, I was at a graduation party. I wasn't 21 yet. I think I can. The statute of limitations is gone on this at this point. I wasn't 21 yet. I went to a graduation party and I was drinking beer and boxing. And I heard a commotion, rather large party. I heard a commotion, and Jim says that shotgun thing sounds like something I want on my front porch next to my other shotgun. Drinking and shooting are always a good idea. I hear a commotion, and I look over, and there's people cheering, and there's two lines forming. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on over here? This is about 1997-ish. I go over, and I was like, what's going on? They're like, get in line. We're doing funnel races. And I had done funnel races before, where you each had your own funnel and you raced. I mean, the concept is pretty simple. But I walk over, and they're like, get in line. It's funnel races. So I get in line. I'm bullshitting with my friends. I'm drinking beer. The line culminates at the keg. And I walk up, and the person standing across from me in the line is the mom of the kid that graduated. She was a good parent. She encouraged her kids to have fun, encouraged her kids' friends to have fun, and then made sure we all safe and made sure we didn't leave. But I look at this thing that they got in front of me, and it's like a triple-sized funnel with a main hose coming off it, and then a splitter. And basically, you win by finishing more beer first. I thought about it after the fact, and if you are the winner, you've actually drank more because it goes down, and then by the time it gets to the hoses, you've already drained it enough. And if you've drank more beer and then you finish first, I mean, it really wasn't a contest. It was more about just fucking drinking a lot of beer. But yeah, double funnel. Backwards Butcher says I had one that could hold 6 beers and had a paintball gun trigger. It says, wow, I'm old. Thanks, Jim. He isn't good at math or English. Jesus. So yeah, the Kraken. I like it. I'll get a link and throw it out there. Speaking of that, dug into Amazon's terms of service a little bit as a content creator with the affiliate links. I can't share links in the Telegram group and get credit for it. I can't share links in email and get credit for it. It has to be a publicly accessible link so Amazon can go and make sure I'm not doing anything illegal, I guess. There's other rules I have to follow that I want to check up on. But there's a way around this. If you are shopping on Amazon, you can go a couple different ways, really. You can go to my storefront and start there, watch a video, any video. There's hundreds of videos there. Click on one, watch it for 30 seconds. I might, no, that won't work. I just thought I had an idea, but it's not going to work. You can go to amazon.com/shop/the Lots Project. You could put that as a bookmark on your home screen, your browser. If you shop on your phone, you could put it in as a bookmarked hot key on your home screen. Like you go in and you go to the website and you say add bookmark and you long press it and say add to home screen. You can do that. You have to check out a video, then go shopping. Check out an idea list and then click on one of the products in the idea list. I'm going to figure out an easy way, pin it to the top of the storefront where people that are just looking to support the show and support what we're doing can easily go there, click on this, and click on a random item. Maybe, I'll have to figure out what item. But anyway, you can do that. You can also go to thelotsproject.com, which I'm frantically working on giving a makeover, and go to the recommended products. That's right on the main screen on the landing page. You scroll down a little bit, it says recommended products. You click on that. You can scroll down and click on any of the Amazon links there. That is a publicly accessible posting place that I have verified through Amazon. That will give me credit for the links. Yeah, that's about it. Or any of the videos on YouTube. Any of the videos. There's 130 videos in the recommended product playlist on my YouTube channel that you can pop in and watch any of them. I appreciate all the views. Share it with a friend if it's a product that you think one of your friends could use. And then the links are always in the video description. Those are affiliate links, and those work. So kind of retooling that and coming up with ways to push that. And the kind of goes hand in hand with this weekend and some changes I'm making, some things I'm thinking about starting, some things I'm thinking about really paring back. I miss interviews. I miss giving interviews. It's a struggle because it's a lot of time. It's a time commitment. It's a lot of scheduling. When I'm interviewing people that I have no idea who they are, I feel that I owe it to them to look into their stuff, to really have relevant questions for them. But I've been missing it. I think that doing it on a schedule was tough. Live, it limited my guests. It occupied my time. So I've been contemplating how to do it a little different. Yesterday, I got an email. I haven't talked about it in a while, but I still use Podmatch. I still promote Podmatch. Podmatch was the source for the majority of my guests when I was doing Lots to Talk About, and it's a great website. If you're a creator looking to do interviews, or someone that's looking to be interviewed, especially small business, online business, you got a story to tell, you're trying to raise awareness, blah blah blah, anything like that. It's the easy button for getting on podcasts. It's the easy button for finding guests. I still use it. I still look at potential guests. They reach out to me all the time. And it's kind of spurring this wanting to do interviews again. And then talking to Nicole about running the Creator Tent and doing some interviews there. It's just been this when the universe is trying to fucking tell you something, and a lot of the times you don't listen, and then you get another little nudge, and then you get another little nudge, and there's these little signs. Yesterday, I kind of got punched in the face. The founder of Podmatch, which I joined when it was pretty small still, and have joined a lot of his groups as he's grown. Just been included in a lot of the growth. He sent out an email about a new podcast network that they're starting. If you are a fan of Toolman Tim, you know that he's in the Prepper Broadcast Network. There's several out there. By the way, if you're listening right now, person from New York City Podcast Network, I don't know who you are. I haven't figured it out yet. But someone that listens, I appreciate you. If you want to reach out and email me, I'd love to chat with you. And I appreciate what you do. But I signed up for this thing called the New York City Podcast Network. And a staff member there seems to like my show, which is cool. They keep putting it on their staff picks list every so often, and I really appreciate that. It bumps my listens. Thank you. It's weird thanking someone you don't even know who they are, or if they exist, or if it's just an automated system. Maybe I'm just in a loop and it's an AI that picks me. That could be the case, but I'm hoping it's a real person that enjoys the show and continues to put it on the staff picks. And like I said, if you want to email me and chat, that'd be cool. But anyway, Alex, the founder of Podmatch, is starting the Podmatch. The Podmatch, he's already started it. He's growing it a little bit more. Hunter says, "What category are you in? Crazy anarchist?" I don't know. Actually, I just get an email when I get the thing listed, and I just peek at the episode, the title, and then watch my downloads. I've never really dug into it that much, but I remember when I signed up for it, and I just did the free, I just want to be on the list, trying to grow, and all of a sudden someone picked up on my show, and at least once a week, it seems that I get added to staff picks, which is cool. It's cool. I like that. Flattering, I guess. But Alex has started a podcast network revolving around Podmatch. Interview shows only. Basically, they're putting the force of the group behind pushing the individual episodes. He sent out an email. They had started it with a founders group, really high level interviewers that are in the network. They're opening it up to a second round of expansion. And it listed what you needed to do. It was like at least 3 episode releases per week. This, that, and other thing. And as I looked into it, it was kind of like you need to do this. You need to do it different than you've done everything else. And the community at Podmatch are very knowledgeable on how to do this right. How to do this right. How to make fucking money at it. How to grow it. How to all the things that I struggled with and stopped caring about. I love the core audience here. Would I like it to grow more? Absolutely. All good things come with growth. But this show that I do in the morning is more about my enjoyment. The core group of people that are here are fantastic. I enjoy interacting with you guys in the morning. I get feedback from a lot of you that you enjoy the interaction in the morning. It's not an ideal situation. It's not an ideal format. It's not ideal for growth. Maybe it will be. Maybe it will continue and grow. But I'm thinking about diving in and doing a similar show to Lots to Talk About, with some small changes. And then it's going to be paywalled. The audio is going to be paywalled. The video possibly will get released and paywalled. I will not have a set time that they'll be recorded, but all the live. John says, "Are you saying this is your masturbation?" You don't want to watch that. You don't want to watch that. If that was anything pleasurable to watch, I'd have an OnlyFans already and not be doing a podcast. You don't want to see that hog. But anyway, I think I'm going to use it to like triple fold. I think I'm going to record the interviews, pop up live on Nostr only, and then bank them and release them behind a membership. Not as anything huge, by any means, but the audio will get released behind a paywall on the podcast, or on my podcast host. Food Forest Farm says you get tossed off OnlyFans pretty quick if you aren't a chick. No. You get tossed off OnlyFans for what did you say you wanted? You basically said you wanted to meet people, and the AI scanner believed that you were a hooker looking to meet people in person. If I recall how that went down. Pretty sure it would have happened if you were a woman too. But I'm thinking about doing this shit. And I asked for help, which is weird for me. It's a little uncomfortable. I asked Alex for help, or if he knew anybody that that would be willing to be a mentor in this space. Which I need to start doing more of. It's hard for me to ask for help. So yesterday was a big moment when I was reading the email and it all clicked, and I said, I need someone that knows what the fuck they're doing. If I'm going to take the time to do this, I'm going to do it separate from all of this, and I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it with a proven method. I want to learn from someone that's done it. Learn from someone that has done it multiple times would be even better. And so I sent the email. I didn't sit on it. I didn't stew on it. I didn't let it fade away. Because there's been so many different signs that said, do some interviews. You enjoy it is the biggest one. I enjoy talking to people about how they got to where they're at, especially people that have interesting stories on how they got to where they're at, or unexpected stories. I always talk about with Corey, and I think about the interview I did with his name is like I can't fucking, what is his name? Fuck. I had it written down last night, and it's in fucking Jumbo Land over here. But CEO of multi-million dollar companies that spent years of his life wandering around India barefoot. He's not Indian. He's Australian. But has had a life that was phenomenally interesting life. And he was just out there talking about his current situation. And I find it interesting to get people to talk about stuff that they're not promoting, about their story, not necessarily their business. What the fuck was his name? Now I'm pissed. Fucking bullshit. I could tell you his story. I can't think of his name. Stupid. Whoops. It's not Corey. He does. I believe he did have a ambiguous name, though. I believe he had an ambiguous name. Such a long time ago, guys. Such a long time ago. Ask Corey. Corey doesn't know. Corey, do you know what his name was? She doesn't know. She doesn't know. Fuck. I could have looked it up by now, and I just didn't. Food Forest Farms names are just a concept. Yeah, they are. But he was a pretty interesting dude. He told his story about kind of going through life and following whatever popped up. And he made it work. He really made it work right now, for sure. Anyway, I gotta wrap it up here. I gotta get done. I gotta get this. I gotta get show process. I got a bunch of videos edit today. I gotta ride out this the hurricane that's rolling in. It's already started raining a little bit outside. The dogs are super wet. It's going to be an awesome day here in the camper when we get to take them out in the pouring rain, deal with all the leaky leaks and the wind and possible tornadoes. It's going to be a fantastic day, guys. I'm excited for it, but I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm going to plug away and get a bunch of stuff done and roll through the weekend. Dedicated computer weekend. We're sticking around the camper this weekend. It's a possibility of showers all weekend. Have things to get caught up on here, and we're gonna stay here. We're gonna stay here on a weekend that we're not both so ill that we can't get off a chair and get some stuff done. So, anyway, I hope you have a fantastic day. It's Thursday. You only got one left. After today, it's as Pip was like to say, it's Friday Eve. Rock it out on Friday Eve. I'll be sure to put a fun show together tomorrow, heading into the weekend. I'll have some time today where I'll need to carve out. I'll try to carve out some time to put together a fun one. Anything you guys really want to anything you guys really want to talk about, hit me in the Telegram group, and we will figure it out. Have a fantastic day, guys. Enjoy your Thursday. Make it through, and we will catch you in the morning.
At the end of this longest night.